I don't know. Do you know who Virat Kohli is?
Yeah.
Of course, right? So I don't know if you saw this shit that he got involved in recently.
You like that picture?
Yeah. And then...
now, as a married man, I understand. You fucked up, buddy. You fucked up, buddy. You fucked up.
The glitch in the algorithm.
I've seen enough Anushka Sharma clips to know whatever's happening to him on Instagram is way worse at home. It's way worse at home. And I'm not judging. My wife is like that little pataka. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean exactly, bro.
He is in hell right now.
Dude, there's a reason I have a burner
Baby, I didn't
account.
mean to. Oh, yeah, you didn't mean to. What, you think I'm fucking stupid?
Finger slipped. Bro, I have a burner account for that reason. I don't want to be caught doing shit. It's a Latina blood, dude.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
dangerous.
you're great. Your wife is Mexican, you said, right?
Yeah, it's dangerous, dude. Thank you, bro. And you know why I was mentioning that is because that's what I mean. Like, there is no reason for him to stay in India after he's done playing cricket because this is the way you treat his space.
Yeah.
They went to Adam Mosseri, who's the CEO of Instagram, his account.
Yeah.
And they started posting in his comments, say sorry to King Kohli.
Why?
Because Kohli's statement was this was a glitch.
Oh.
So they're asking the CEO to say sorry. And I mean, I get it, dude. Like, it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy. I'm only getting used to the fact that I have no private space in public anymore. Like, I can't scream on the phone at someone because someone is going to pull their phone out. It's a different feeling.
In America, that exists a little bit. Like, if I'm talking shit about somebody that's got a profile, I better not do it in public.
And you talk a lot of shit about
I talk
people.
a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I won't say it if I won't say it to your face. Most of the time. Or I'm like, I don't with this guy for XYZ. I try not to be two-faced about it. But in America, if somebody wanted to make it a thing, they would record me quietly like this. They're still 8 feet away from me, 5 feet away from me. They're getting as close as they can without me being like, yo, what are you doing? India doesn't, and I know they didn't have that in life, but if you don't have any profile, because I don't here, I can walk around, nobody really cares. But if you have a profile, I want people to understand that lack of personal space is amplified 1,000x. The entitlement is insane.
Yeah, the good part of it is, dude, you can never run out of love. Like, I've never had a bad day at an airport. Because just people will start coming up to me and telling me how much they love my work and what they've seen and how it's changed their life. And so there's a huge good to it.
Yeah.
It's really when I'm like stupid tired, I haven't slept in many days and I'm in public and somebody walks up and I'm like, come on.
I'm so appreciative of all the fans. But I have not, that would bother me. If I dealt with people who were like in my space and then don't know who I am.
Yeah, that's a little stupid.
That was what was bothering me. The people that were giving him genuine love. I was walking around with Same. He was getting so much genuine love. It was so uplifting to see.
Right.
That all this shit is happening, but the people still love him, and that was awesome.
Right.
It was just what I could not comprehend and what didn't sit right with me is this close and I don't even know who you are. Walking up, like getting on him and then being like, taking the picture and then being like, who is he? Literally saying to me, who is he? That's where I get annoyed.
I get that.
And in the States, I remember this is very early. I was on Wildin' Out. Some girl asked for a picture, and the other girl that was with her didn't care. At first, she was like kind of rude to me. Then the other girl saw him and goes, oh my God, can I get a picture? And then this girl goes, oh, he's famous? Let me get a picture. And I go, no. Like, very rarely do I say no, but I go, no, you can get a picture. She cannot.
Right.
Like, it's just a lack of consideration. Not every person has it, but more in India, it seems like people have it. Not all people, but there's a larger number of people that have it.
Yeah, I get it. It's somebody told me this at the start of my career. We were in a vanity van at the back of a show. Some very profound dude generally. He told me, he says, everything you do in front of people that meet you is a story for them.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
I'm
they
aware.
will tell it to your friends and
aware.
their friends later. And so, you must remember that now you are an object of public space and behave as such.
Yeah.
It's a very sort of, it changed my view on these things.
Of course.
But bro, I can't imagine life's easy for you with all the opinions you have. Because you have a lot of opinions.
I've been checked by people that I really admire.
Right.
Like people that I worshipped growing up. I don't want to name names, but it's like, you also have to understand, I said this thing. And I try to, I'm like I did therapy for like 8 years. I do breath work. I do all these things. So I try to be more nuanced. And if I made a mistake, I'll own the part that I thought was a mistake.
That's true about you.
And so, but I remember the first time it happened with like my fucking hero growing up. Came up to me, he was not happy with something I said. And I remembered kind of freaking out and then grabbing that part of my brain that was freaking out and just saying, hey, you knew this was going to happen. You made the decision to talk shit publicly for a living. Sometimes people are going to check you. So the worst thing you can do is back down and just apologize. He'll never respect you if you do that. So stand on what the fuck you said because you believed it in the moment. And if there's something, and I apologize, I said, you know what, I'll apologize for it. And we're going back and forth. And he's not happy. And this guy is a god. But I said, you know, I'll apologize for it. I shouldn't have said it publicly. I should have said it to you privately. But I do believe what I said. He was not happy with that. But I apologize for the thing that I understood where he was coming from. And I don't know how I would have gotten to him realistically, but I could have tried that before I said some things publicly.
Nah, bro, you know what I found? Because I have a similar problem. I don't know, I always blame it to the fact that I'm from a smaller city. And, you know, we're just much more comfortable talking about each other.
Yeah.
But I feel like there is a way in which you might say the same thing to his face and behind him about him. But the rest of the people are very interested in the rumor. And they want to talk about it as this currency that they want to pass on to each other. Look, I was proximate to Akaash. And then somebody says, oh, I heard my friend talk about Akaash saying this about this guy. And then eventually it's just Chinese whisper and something else is shaped up on the other end.
Yeah.
I kind of get that.
Yeah, and then if they said that to me, I would just be like, no, this is what I said. And if that offended you, I apologize. But that is what I said, and I believe that. Or, you know what, I'll try to be like, and I might be stubborn in the moment, but I try to have the wherewithal in the moment to be like, you know what, man, you're right. Even in my relationship with my wife, the best thing I do is when she says, you know, sometimes you're both arguing, and you're both so committed to being right that they might say something that makes sense, but you're like, F that, I don't want to give ground, because she's not seeing what I'm saying. In the past 6 months, I've been able to a few times go, when she says something that makes sense, stop my anger and go, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. That makes complete sense. I'm sorry. I apologize.
But does she know what to do from there?
She handles it. Well, then she'll calm down, and then eventually I'll usually get my apology. That's one thing about my wife. She's a firecracker. She's whatever, but she's not a girl that's unwilling to say I'm sorry. She's unwilling to say it first.
Yeah, right.
But she's not unwilling to say sorry. So in those moments, I think she appreciates that, like, oh, the fight just ended. Like, you can be mad for a little bit longer, and that's normal, that's human. But I completely see your point of view, and I say it as empathetically as I can. I try to go, I'm not just saying that. You're right. I apologize. I did not see that. I'm sorry. And if I can do that, we're done. We're in the clear. She will eventually apologize, and we're good. But it's just, I don't do it all the time, but if you can manage to swallow that fucking ego and go, hey, you know what? You make a good fucking point, and I didn't think about that, and I'm sorry.
I want to know, especially because you told me all this stuff about your marriage and stuff. How does your green room or your podcasting studio or your friends and colleagues see somebody like an Andrew Tate and the rhetoric he brings?
You know what? The flaw of comedians a lot of times is if you're funny, we're not going to be that bothered by it. Like, you guys were going crazy. So many Indians, while I've been here, were talking about Donald Trump posting that thing on Instagram as the Pope.
Yeah. I think it's super funny.
I can't get offended because it's funny.
Yeah.
So Andrew Tate, he's saying things, it's all bullshit, but he's saying these things in a unique enough way that it is funny. So for me to get mad at the things he's saying is hard for me. I'm not saying I'm right, but I will forgive a lot if it's funny. Now, if any of the accusations are real, that guy, go to prison, have fun kickboxing with all these inmates. Good luck. But just the words, if they're funny, I'm like, it's good. It's good. It got me. It's good.
So, you know why I asked you this is because I personally think he is a direct consequence of what took hold of America, woke culture. He is a ruder version of Jordan Peterson, to put it very simply, right? He's Jordan Peterson without the filters and the education, right?
I can see that.
And Jordan came out sensibly, but well, this guy was just like on the other end.
How do you get the currency of all these angry people who are listening to all this far feminist bullshit? Like the basic feminist idea that men and women should have equal rights, of course, I get that.
Right.
But it was so crazy. And we were talking about the stuff you were seeing at Columbia, and it's like, what the Krishna thing? I think I was on pod. What are you talking about?
Right.
And if you say something like you did, you get shamed.
Right.
So what am I going to do with that shame? I'm going to bury it, and then this guy's going to come along and package it in a funny, tantalizing way, and this has been festering. I love that guy. I think that is largely how Trump won in 2016. 2024 would be a different set of circumstances, but 2016, I think that was a lot of his appeal. White people in middle America who were going broke because manufacturing's been shipped to China, they're listening to them. Everybody tell them they have privilege and their problems aren't real, and you're so whatever, you're white, you don't understand anything. They're just getting yelled at over and over and over. And you're like, what are you talking? I'm poor and hungry. Fuck you. And then this one guy comes along who's like, hey man, I see y'all's issues. Fuck everybody else. Y'all are the ones. They're going to be like, I love that guy.
Yeah.
Andrew Tate, same thing. I love that guy.
I think people underestimate how much value entertainment has in American discourse.
Oh, yeah.
Trump won because he's funny.
He's funny.
Yeah, he was super funny.
I think he
Debating
exposed
Hillary.
that in all of us.
Yeah. I mean, bro, and I was just getting to America when he'd won. Like 2017 is when I get in,
were
right?
you scared?
No.
Uh-huh.
In 2020, right before the election, all I wanted to see, I'd heard about it. In 2016, when Trump won the election, there was a whole day when nobody showed up to school because they were all busy crying. And when I heard that, I was like, that's some weak ass shit.
Yeah.
That's just,
it's
I want to see it. I was like, I want to see it. I want to make sure Trump wins this time and I'll see it. Unfortunately, that did not happen. But no, I think he's hella entertaining. In fact, every time I've spoken to an American commentator about, and this is before the election, I was like, I wish Trump wins because the world gets 10% more entertaining every time he makes a speech.
It does.
And they were like, they weren't very happy with that idea.
Yeah. Well, look, I thought the Democrats, I would love to be a Democrat, but I just watched them bungle everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, you got what you got it. This is on you. I'm not even going to blame Trump or racism or whatever. This is on you. And now I do think the first 100 days have been like, what the is happening?
Dude.
But I get how it happened. I get how he got here.
Yeah. How was it like meeting him and hanging out with him?
Honestly, magnetic energy.
Really?
Very warm. And I'm not talking about his politics, but you meet him one-on-one. He's funny. He is, and like the way he talks when he's like really, you're like, it's like hypnotic. It's like, wow, this is like, I can't not look at this. I don't know what's happening. Story that just lets you know how quick, people say he's demented. He's one of the sharpest human beings I've ever been around. He's keenly aware of everything. And I remember, this isn't that, but it tells you how sharp the guy is. He's walking in, and then, there's like we have these big lighting setups like this.
Right.
So the lighting setups, I don't know if this one does, but they have these legs, and it's right next to my couch. And Donald Trump has to walk by my chair, couch, or whatever it was to get to his seat. Secret Service guy trips on the light as he's walking by right before Trump gets up. So he says to me, hey, can you just make sure the president doesn't trip on this thing? Because that would be really bad. I'm like, yeah, of course. So I get up, I shake his hand. I go, by the way, watch your step. I don't want you to trip on this lighting fixture. And he goes, oh, thank you so much for telling me. That would have been bad. I tell you, Joe Biden would have tripped on that thing.
Let's fucking go,
I
dude.
mean,
oh my gosh, never off character.
Camera's not on, dude.
Damn.
Well, they're on, but he don't know that. I mean, boom.
That's so well timed.
It's
That's
so good.
Such a good joke, dude.
So good. Like the guy, I'm not saying he's a good president, but people act like he's got dementia. No fucking chance. No fucking chance.
That's such a good joke. That's so much awareness. You're so right,
Yeah.
dude. And he's not even campaigning in that moment.
No.
It's not like this was show.
It's just a room.
And I'm sure he finds it funny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm sure he really
yeah,
finds
yeah,
it funny.
yeah.
I mean, it's very strange for a president to become the president roasting everybody in the process. Yeah.
He's got the thing that comics have. I don't know if you'll notice if you see me, if I get a laugh, or if a lot of times I'm looking for a laugh, but if they laugh, I lock onto that thing and I keep digging into it. It's like a neediness thing.
Yeah.
But Trump has the same thing. Trump has that. If he could go to Joe Biden falling, he gets a laugh, and he knows that. And he clocked the things we laughed at in the interview, and he would hit that again. It's like not a thing that's only comics have, but it is a comedian thing, and he knows when he's getting a laugh. And you see when he gets a laugh, Andrew pointed this out, in like a rally, he'll start going back to that. He'll get a little revved up, and he'll start hitting that thing in the same way that I do. I get a laugh. We were interviewing somebody yesterday, and off cam, I was getting a laugh making fun of somebody. So I just kept hitting it. Boom, boom. And it's not good. It's just a neediness we have, but he got a similar neediness, and it works.
I've seen that with comics.
Yeah.
But that's why my laugh really works, because I laugh so loudly.
Oh, that's
really lock onto
yeah,
that.
yeah, and we love that. It
Yeah.
makes us feel so full.
Right. Yeah. It's a strange feeling.
We're losers, dude. We're fucking losers.
I got one comic. One comic had the balls to admit that.
Any comic who doesn't admit it is you're a fucking loser too. Like you're the biggest loser.
Yeah. No, I get it. I don't know if fame is separate in America for like if you're a Hollywood guy or if you're a comic, it's separate. In India, it's one monolith. It's one block. And you can confuse yourself on what level you're in there and how important your fame is. Fame is also, like you said, like public places. You're constantly bombarded.
Yeah.
Your social media is constantly bombarded. I think people can get lost in that. I think Indian comics, by and large, are extremely talented and I think under-repped. Like, there's a lot more to come out of India.
Yeah.
This is,
I've been doing comedy longer than the country of India. I started in 2007. India started in 2009.
Yeah,
December, right? So yeah, what they've already done it's crazy.
Right. And but it's easier to get lost in the haze. I think this sort of fame.
I'm sure.
Yeah. You've been on Rogan. You've done Flagrant yourself. That's probably 2 of the top 5 podcasts in the world.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, I'm not complimenting. I'm telling you, this is a fact, dude. I think
taking
Rogan's
this
the biggest podcast in the world, no doubt.
Yeah, that's number one for sure.
Right? And I think Flagrant's right up there too. What other podcasts? Like there's Huberman, and I don't know if he's doing it still. And there's Lex. That's about it.
Yeah, who's his name? Theo Vaughn is.
Theo's really coming up, dude.
Yeah.
Man, I love Theo, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think about him, but bro, I fucking love that guy.
He's got that. He got that thing that people just fucking love him. Bad Friends is also great comedians. There's Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino, and they're great. That's the space I'm more aware of. Alex Cooper, the Call Her Daddy girl. Mm-hmm. She in America is probably number 2.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm trying to think who else. Yeah, the space.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's definitely ones I'm leaving out, but yeah.
Global export wise, it's Huberman, Lex, you guys, and Joe. That's it.
Oh, wow.
That's the only ones. Like if I say your name, it's much more likely to land than even Theo's name here.
Really?
Yeah.
That's very cool.
I remember that joke from I think it's from Bobby Lee and I don't know who else was there.
Andrew Santino.
No, it's not from that podcast. It's with Brendan Schaub and I forget the third guy. He goes about
Brian Callen.
Yes. I got molested.
Damn, brother. Unbelievable. So maybe the greatest clip in the history of the internet. Like it's how can she slap and that.
How can she slap?
So good.
How can she slap? Dude, you gotta react to that on Flagrant. How can she slap?
I think I know we mentioned it because Andrew was actually aware of that when I met him. So that was like another sign like this guy understands. He's out. He gets it. He's out there. He's not just some white kid.
Oh, no.
But we've been laughing about that for like 14, 15 years to the point that when we started Flagrant, because I met Andrew in 2008. So by the time we started Flagrant in 2017, it's like we've laughed about this clip so many times. We'll refer to it. But watching it, I don't know if we've done that, but it's like, it feels like we've already watched it 100 times as friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's almost, if we haven't done it, that's why.
I'll give you an idea for your podcast, floated by. I think you should do a compilation of Indian memes and react to it. And you'll get more views than you can think of.
Okay.
You already get a lot of views, but like that shit just hit the sweet spot.
My wife has been telling me for a long time, this is a similar thing though. She's like, you should show Bollywood movies to your non-Indian friends and just watch their reaction and that's it. Just react to it. Yeah, this would be in the same vein. But
yeah, because How Can She Slap is iconic level shit, dude.
Yeah,
it's
I think
history of the internet.
Seen it. I think everybody's seen it at this point.
Yeah, really? Outside of India too? Do you get the context on what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's
Dadagiri, right?
Yeah.
The point is, how much abuse can you take?
Right.
But you slapped me. You're out of your fucking mind. You slapped me.
And
that's why I think he thought he was winning when she said, why don't you go and fuck off then? He's showing her, I'm not phased. You think you this gonna break me, bitch? You go. And then she slapped him. And then it was like, bro, fucking pay. Yeah,
you go. And he does that, you go. Bro, that clip is a media company did a 15-year later kind of clip on this guy, and he's like, that moment defined the rest of my life. I'd come to Mumbai to be an actor, bro. He felt so bad, man. He was like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Hey, you stood up for the guys, bro.
Yeah.
You stood up against bullying, man. We're proud of you, bro.
He's the first Andrew Tate when you think about it. He was about it.
So spot on, dude. So fucking spot on.
We should start a GoFundMe for this guy. Well, I don't know what the Indian version is that, but we need that.
Damn. I'll ask you, I want to know, because again, I think it's very interesting how you think about stuff. What is something you've learned from interviewing all these people that is not evident? Like, what have you learned about people?
Oh, this is not a shot. This makes me feel better. But I've sat with some really important people and I've seen moments of insecurity from all of them. So I was really hard on myself whenever I was like trying to be less insecure. Man, I'm still insecure. I'm still this. I'm still that. And then I see people who are like powerful people. And I see moments from them where you're just like, oh, you're doing this out of insecurity. You're reacting like this out of insecurity. And that made me feel a lot better in that, like, no matter what, we're all insecure about some shit. And that's a weird thing to take away from it, but it made me feel like it's okay if I get insecure sometimes. Work on it, but it's okay. Nothing to be hard on yourself about. I saw a moment from Trump where I was like, oh, he's insecure, this guy, about this thing. So that's one thing I will say I picked up on is like, that is a very human emotion, and acting like you shouldn't have it, you're always going to be insecure. It's always going to happen. It's okay.
I found that people will say a lot more than they plan to if you actually just look them in the eye as you talk.
That's a good one.
Yeah. They just open up in a way they didn't think.
I've done that already here. So I didn't know why. You're just looking at, it's just eye contact.
Right. You don't even have to nod your head or anything. You just if you give them the impression they care, people open up.
Wow. I'm going to remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try it.
I'm going to. I have other interviews here. I'm going to.
Yeah. I was just messing with you.
You know what my wife and I laugh about all the time? The Chris Rock, when he got slapped by Will Smith. It's a I hate Will Smith forever. I used to really love him. But keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth, and Chris Rock just goes, I'm going to. My wife and I do that to each other all the time. Baby, can you take out the trash, please? I'm going to.
Oh, bro. That moment, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh
I rant about Will Smith whenever I can. That guy forever. And the fact that he's still making it about him, it's crazy. Any clip he does, he's just like, that was the worst moment of my life. Really? I think it was the worst moment of Chris Rock's life, dude. Yeah. I don't, how you're making this about you is delusional.
No, there was another moment in Will Smith's life where his wife admitted to... How's that not the worst moment of your life, bro?
That's a good point, dude.
Yeah, bro, come on. Get your priorities in order, my man.
Yeah, that was her. Dude, that was her son's best friend.
Yeah, that's kind of hard.
Yeah, it's a fuck. At the risk of sounding like Andrew Tate, there's a double standard there.
Yeah.
Jada should people her own age, like me. No, I'm kidding.
I want to check who you've liked, whose pictures you've liked on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm careful with that, dude.
Yeah.
Double tap never, dude. God, what a rookie mistake.
I was trying to refresh, baby. I was just trying to
Like, Instagram don't do that. You know how many times I've wanted to look at a post, not even a girl, but I'm interested in something, and then Instagram just refreshes? It refreshes without me asking.
Yeah.
Who the tries to refresh?
Dude, I finally found the reel I was looking for, man. There was enough cleavage right there, and it's gone. I couldn't do shit about it.
I love Virat, but that's not a real thing. Instagram refreshes way too often. Nobody's double tapping to get it to refresh. It does it.
Right.
Too often.
Right.
Think of a better lie next time, dude. What if it's just like, hey, you got me. I looked, I didn't hit on her. There's no DMs.
Right.
What you want from me?
Right. Yeah.
That would have been his best way out.
Right. Well, no, I don't think so. Bro, I don't know. How much PR is around you guys as like celebrities in America? Is there a lot of
Andrew
PR?
more so, not much for me, yeah.
Yeah, because there is a whole buffer that exists out here that puts out the word. And it's with or without your will, especially if you're Virat. Like, if that level, there's a machinery that does this
is where
thing.
You guys don't have the freedom to. Flagrant, we were able to just be like, hey, we're not your fucking leaders. We're not good people. We're not like heroes. Don't make us that. We're never going to be that. We led with ignorance in a way that was like what we wanted to do, but also very beneficial in that sense. Like, if I double tapped a picture because I talk about my wife so much, that might be a problem. But like, oh, he said this thing about this group of people. How dare he? Our fans are like, yeah, that's what it is. We know. He's never pretended to be somebody else. If I pretended to care about this group or that group, then it's a problem. I don't give a fuck about none of them.
No, I think it's also a function of America's insistence on the expert class. Because it's been there for so long. When Joe came about and he's like, I'm just a comedian, dude. Let me just talk.
Yeah.
People were like, okay, I'll take you up on that. I'm very refreshed by the thought that somebody's talking without the need to impose and preach. And I think that's not happened here.
Yeah.
We are still looking for cultural heroes because we still live in that scarcity. Like, one of the things I tell people about India is that at every red light, you see complete and astute poverty. You are reminded of the worst way of that life can be for you.
Yeah.
And so you live with that trauma in the back of your head. It never goes away.
Yeah.
And you're always looking for a savior. If you look at Bollywood movies, they were always a savior who's also in love with somebody on the side. She's never going to pass the Bechdel test. But it's that guy who saves everybody.
The what test?
The Bechdel test.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a feminist test for cinema where you see if there are more than one woman, they have names and they talk to each other about something other than male characters. And so it's one way of establishing that females have agency in the movies.
Shut the fuck up. Who fucking cares? Jesus Christ.
Hey, you sound like Andrew right now. Andrew Tate.
I said, well, Andrew Tate not married. I got a woman at home. She don't shut the fuck up ever. She keeps talking. I got a Bechdel at home.
I got a Bechdel pain in my back. And I can't help it.
Oh, God. What a stupid Bechdel, dude. Whatever that stupid person is. Anyway, yeah, that is a thing. And I've said that to people in America when I talk about American privilege. That was one of the other things I would mention. There is poverty in America. It's not good. It's not okay. I have never seen inescapable poverty like I saw in India, where it's like, oh, I don't know how you get out of this.
Yeah.
There's no like job you're going to get, an opportunity you're going to get, access to education that you're going to get. It is inescapable, hopeless levels of poverty.
to add to that, you could quit your job in America no matter where you are, and you could still hope for another job to come by.
Yeah.
The middle class here know if their job's gone, they don't know when the next paycheck's going to show up. So the insecurity, even at the upper levels, is insane.
Yeah.
Scarcity is a way of life here. It's not just a condition of life. It's how people think about everything.
Yeah.
And so it comes with its flaws. I will say this, I am very impressed by how this country's moved up. Because there was no reason for it to. If you go so much as 30 years ago, when your parents left, it's a very different
40,
monster.
50 years ago.
Yeah,
First time I came was 22 years ago.
Yeah.
No, 25 years ago. And it's so different.
Yeah.
So different.
Right. It's no China in that way where, the state control progress, but it's done well for itself in some way. Yeah.
No, I agree. The poverty's still a problem. And, but like, I went to Ahmedabad for the World Cup of Cricket final.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, not even the stadium, just the highways. I was like, this is crazy, dude. The level of progress, infrastructure, it's nuts.
I almost began to feel for a second that India's Got Latent was even better than Kill Tony. Like in what it was trying to do.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I don't understand. So I said this to you. If I'm watching pure Hindi, which I assume India's Got Latent was, I'll catch like 70, 80% of it.
Right.
Even though I can speak Hindi, when it's like it requires focus to have a full conversation in Hindi. I need to focus.
Right.
So I assume, but just the numbers it was doing, the memes I follow the brown meme pages, the shit, like he became a part of the zeitgeist in a way that Kill Tony is big, but he's not a part of the conversation the way India's Got Latent was.
Brother, I was in some random Airbnb and I turned on the TV and the YouTube had no sign in. It was just recommending, the standard videos it recommends, The Office and chess or pool or one of those. And one of the videos was India's Got Latent. And it became the thing for YouTube itself, for it to get sense on what this person's going to watch. And I was like, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah. Too bad.
Yeah, well, kind of too bad. People will say this under their breath. But they're like, dude, for a 5-second window, we were all having fun.
Yeah.
I swear to God, so many people will be like, hey, how is he? And I'll be like, he's fine. And then they'll be like, man, for 5 seconds, we were all just laughing our asses off.
Yeah.
And
he's somebody is so talented. I love him. It's just like, it's brutal, man. It's brutal.
You'll see him do shows. I have a feeling, I don't know this from him, I have a feeling he'll be doing shows out west. It's impossible to stop a guy like that.
Yeah, I don't know if he can perform here. I think that's like up for debate right now, right?
No, I don't think that. Well, I mean, we are speculating and he knows his circumstance best, but I don't think that'll be a problem. I'm going to ask you a question I don't know if I should ask, not because it's weird or anything. It's probably because it's just like a sort of fanboy question. But how's it like being on Joe Rogan's?
Oh, great. I mean, look, I'll say this. It is intense. Because this guy gives you 3.5 hours of, or however long he wants to talk to you, of unmitigated focus. He leans forward. He looks you, I don't know, in the eyes, but he's looking at you. He's listening. He's responding. And if the most famous podcaster in the history of the world, this guy's bigger than every news network, if he's giving me that, I better match that focus and intensity. And you know how many people are watching. He's used to it. But 15 million people are listening to what I say. So I'm thinking about every word that comes out of my mouth. How's it presented? And I got to match this guy's focus. And it's tiring. And he can talk. He is a professional talker. So it's also like, how do I keep talking about the things that I want to talk about? Because if I get into his interests, I don't really share those.
Yeah.
And I've seen those moments where a guy's like trying to talk about what Joe wants to talk about, and they clearly can't. And I didn't want that to happen to me, because it's like, and I know I'm faking it. And I'll fake it for a bit, but like, I'm going to try to steer it back to, and there's moments of pressure where Joe is like, the moment I'm the most proud of on that podcast, and he laughed, which was very cool, but he was talking about the JFK conspiracy.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I just don't really care about the conspiracy stuff. And then he starts going into the Joe Rogan, you got to look into this and this and this. And then I go, I stopped listening 3 seconds into that sentence, Joe. And it's the moment he laughed. And it's the moment I'm most proud of, because it was like, I could pretend to care, but I didn't. And I'm happy I was authentic in that moment. But like, you're feeling the pressure, man. You are, for sure. He's the nicest human being. It's not him that's doing it, but you.
Sorry again, this is out of fascination. I'll tell you why, right? I grew up listening to the guy.
Yeah.
He was my friend in that when I was alone in the city of New York, first time there, I was listening to him.
Yeah, that's a very deep connection.
Yeah, he's the reason I got into this space. I renamed my podcast to Prakhar Gupta Xperience as an homage, because I genuinely believe in honoring, like, I'm super proud of the fact. I never hide it. I named my podcast as an homage to my inspiration, right? And I have a document I wrote very early on when I started doing this. And I started doing this by design because I got into this. I'd been on YouTube for a while. I was like, I'll do this now. I wrote a document what Joe Rogan can do that you cannot, right? And I wrote down every single point that he has access to. And so that I understand my style. It was like a piece like that, right? So I want to know, does he just directly call you and book you? Or like, how does this work for him?
He can. But I think the first time I got it, Andrew reached out to him.
Oh, sure.
The second time I got it, I reached out to him and I was like, I try not to text him and annoy him.
Right. Because he's probably texted a bunch of times by a bunch of people
Just
for a bunch of
everybody
things.
wants something.
Yeah,
from
right.
him. So I text him. I saw the special for his most recent trailer. I remember thinking that was really cool. I was like, yo, trailer looks great, whatever. But I just reached out to him. He didn't respond. And then I followed up. I said, hey, man, I know you're super busy. All good if you can't have, when I was promoting Gaslit, this second special. And I was like, if you got space, I would love to. But if not, all good. I still appreciate everything you've done. And then he was like, yo, my brother, sorry, I didn't miss his message. This is the one date I have. And I was like, of course, I'll fucking do that date. What are you talking about? But he does it himself, which is insane.
That's insane.
Insane.
It doesn't look like he also, like he reads your book or he researches you, but it's not like he's sitting with something.
No.
He's just there with you.
His recall is like unlike anything I've seen.
For all the weed he smokes, that's kind of crazy, dude.
Yeah. He says it's all alpha brain. So I don't know. Maybe we should take that.
Shit. Yeah. Oh, so he gives his secret away like that, huh?
Yeah.
I believe him. He's selling his product. What Bollywood movies did you grow up watching?
So I found Bollywood later because I remembered trying to that's part of the reason I overcompensate a little bit now with like pride and being Indian.
Right.
I remember being embarrassed by it and like, oh, these movies are stupid, blah, blah, blah. And then when I was like in my 20s and I was trying to like reconnect, I made it a point to watch like classic movies. So the first one I watched was Diwar, and then I watched Sholay, and then I watched DDLJ, and then I watched K3G. And these are like classics that are my age, but like I remember starting with a couple older movies. And my favorite is probably DDLJ.
Unsurprising.
Or K3G.
Yeah, unsurprising.
Or Kal Ho Na Ho. Kal Ho Na Ho, Shah Rukh Khan in the first act of that movie, it's one of the greatest comedic performances I've ever seen in my life. I will cry if I meet Shah Rukh Khan. I'm not even bullshitting. I will cry. He means so much to NRIs, I'm sure Indians in general, but to us, he was our connection to India. And he was like charming and confident, and just like the way Will Smith was with girls in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Shah Rukh Khan was that in Bollywood. Like silly, but charming and great at flirting. And the way he's flirting with Preeti Zinta in Kal Ho Na Ho is like top tier flirting. I'm unbelievable. So funny, so charming. And I had never seen that in Bollywood. I'd never seen an Indian acting like that. So it was like, yeah, man, even now when I watch that movie, that scene where he's coaching Saif Ali Khan on how to get Preeti Zinta to like, he's being so funny when he's like, cool. And then he's like, stop shaking your head like that, whatever. Like, I was like, this is unbelievable, man. He's so funny.
And do you keep up with Bollywood?
A little bit. Yeah. Not as much as I'd like to, but yeah. Last three movies I watched were Lapata Ladies and 12th Fail. And Hira Mandi, we watched the series. Huh?
Did you watch Animal?
I watched Animal. This is the funniest thing about this whole controversy. Ranveer makes a joke. Would you rather, and I'm going to say it because I don't give a and I'm American and I can get away with it. Would you rather watch your parents have sex forever or join in and make it stop? Whole country is in outrage. How dare this person? India should not. This is not the India that I know. Animal is the most violent movie I've ever seen in any genre. This guy's a fucking monster. People are getting cut up with machetes. It's just psychopaths killing each other. That's a massive success. They're making a sequel.
And they're calling it Animal Park.
I mean, what the fuck are we doing? Does no one else see the hypocrisy in this? Or the inconsistency, at least? I'm not saying hypocrisy, but it's definitely incongruent that you're like, hey, this is a problem. This joke is not, we are better than that as Indians. But a movie where you're making eye contact with me is weirding me out now. I know what you're doing. But a movie...
I'm pretending to listen.
Yeah. But a movie where a guy goes on a 15-minute killing spree, chokes out his brother-in-law, strangles him to death, then that brother takes revenge and kills one of his bodyguards who's his cousin, and there's blood all over his face. That's all good. No, that's fine. That joke is unacceptable.
Yeah, I was talking to a journalist about this yesterday, and she said something similar. She's like, I can tell you movies that were super hit, that had similar themes built into the movie from before you were born. Right?
Yeah.
And so, bro, I don't think any man worth their salt can stand up and say that there is no inconsistency in here. There is definitely an inconsistency here. But yeah, I mean, Animal, I frankly thought was a series of Instagram reels stitched together as a movie. Because where it began, I was kind of interested. I was like, show me this father-son sort of fight. I think it's a huge theme. I think it's a very unexplored idea that men fight at home. And there is a rift there that sometimes never heals. But it ended up being something else by the end of it. It was cousins of different religions fighting.
Yeah.
Right? Going
but
to
they were
Punjab,
actually brothers or something like that.
right?
It was a really odd thing. Now, I will say, I watched the movie not understanding what happened, and maybe that's why, but it stuck with me in a way that I can't understand. I thought about it all the time. And maybe that's the point of art, is I just, for whatever reason, I just kept thinking about it. Because I just never seen a movie like that.
Yeah.
So artistically, in that sense, I really liked it. That should be allowed. But to act like that's okay, and that's a mega hit, and this joke, that is a very innocuous joke, or the joke somebody's in trouble for now, it's a very innocuous joke. And you guys can tell me I don't know India, and you're right. But I know stand-up comedy better than almost every human being in the fucking galaxy. So either I'm right, and you should allow that joke to happen, or India should not have stand-up. It's a fucking farce if that's not acceptable.
Yeah, I feel like probably neither of those extremes are true. Probably there's something like, if I was not on camera and we could talk about it longer, I'd argue my way until we arrived at a middle point and like try and see you where you are and you see me where I am. But you know what's also very interesting, and this is universal, if I ever meet an NRI, they've all seen DDLJ and they've all seen Kanhona Ho and K3G, and that's their sort of access point, dude.
Yeah.
I also heard that a lot of these films were made by money sent by NRIs. So a lot of the production was happening from people who'd moved abroad, Gujarat.
I mean, these are all movies that don't take place in India. I think
exactly.
K3G, half of it does, but it's in London also.
But it's also about all these Indian values that you must maintain once you move abroad and that kind of stuff. And it was all propaganda for you, man. So you remain Indian.
Yeah.
And there was a East Coast Gujaratis making sure.
And Shah Rukh was I can't imagine anybody else connecting with us the way he did.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I skipped that bit. My father would not let me watch movies when I was a kid. My father had a thing where he was like, good people do not watch movies. And he would insist on that. And he would really insist on that. Like, I remember I had an entire fight with him one day because I finished my exam and I was like, Dad, I'm going to go watch a movie with my friends. And he's like, no, good people don't watch movies. It's all the...
He didn't want you to watch animals and get some ideas.
No, that would be nice because then I would love him more, right?
Yeah.
But, so I didn't watch a lot of movies, but it's true that Indians connect with Shah Rukh Khan the exact same way, bro. It's the same. Like, he's the star. Every famous person I know would tell you stories about Shah Rukh. The one time they met Shah Rukh, for hours, man.
And I've never heard a negative thing, which is crazy. Never heard a negative thing. The one thing he said, and I would love to ask him this on if I ever got the honor of interviewing him. Have you seen his David Letterman interview?
Maybe clips.
I forget. David Letterman has a series. I forget what it's called, but he does an episode with Shah Rukh Khan. And I think Letterman is great, but that's the only episode I've really watched. I was interested. Shah Rukh Khan said a thing to Dave. He goes, I knew I wasn't the best actor, but I knew if I could make people love me, then I could have a long career. And that is exactly what happened. And I'm wondering, how the did you do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can make people love me. How? What did you do? What are you doing?
Yeah.
I want to know that thought process of what the things you're doing. Because that's a fascinating answer. And I think it's exactly, you did everything you said you were going to do. How?
Yeah, that's such a good question. For people in our position,
Yeah.
you like to know that, what the know-how behind
Just in
it.
general, I'm just fascinated by knowing human psychology that well that I can make 1.4 billion Indians and another 500 million NRIs or however many there are. I can make them fall in love with me. If Pakistanis, whatever. There's 2 billion people that love this guy.
3
billion people
That's what
that
I've heard.
love this guy.
Did you see his outfit at the Met Gala?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked the way he handled it. I liked Diljit's outfit better, but Shah Rukh was like, this is what I'm comfortable wearing.
Right.
And
I'm sure he doesn't care to impress at that level.
Yeah. But it's funny, you're seeing these interviewers, there's a lot of NRIs upset because there's no real coverage of the Bollywood stars. The girls who are interviewing Shah Rukh, they clearly don't know who the fuck he is. Sabyasachi has to come over and say, you guys don't understand how famous this person is. And they're like, no, yeah, I know. And he's like, no, you don't. And they don't.
No. They have no idea.
But that's a thing that my wife has been upset about. And I get it. I'm like, yeah, you should. Because in America, we get so upset on other people's behalves. Oh, these interviewers didn't give this guy respect.
Sure.
Above everyone else that you've ever talked to, Shah Rukh Khan deserves respect and adulation and know who the you're talking to.
Yeah,
and they
man.
didn't.
Tell me about your relationship with your wife. What's that like?
A lot of work, a lot of therapy. We love each other so much. We're deeply in love. And it's we laugh all the time. But both of us grew up in I'm talking about this in the next special. It was turbulent households for both of us. We don't need to get too personal. But it's turbulent. So we didn't have any tools. Our fights would get crazy. I am very calm with her until I'm not. And then I it's hard for me to cap the anger.
0 to 100 in a second.
0 to 100.
0 to 0 for 10 days and then...
She never felt unsafe like I would hit her.
Sure.
But like, I like hit myself a couple of times like a fucking maniac, and like, that's not going to make you feel safe either.
No.
So it was a lot of therapy. As soon as we got together, I'd been thinking about therapy for a while, and I realized I love this girl, and I don't even think I knew how much until therapy, but like, I was like, yeah, I love this girl. This girl I want to make it work with. I can't let this get in the way. So I started therapy 2016, I think. And then it didn't even really take hold, I feel like, until like 2019. And then 2021, I felt a lot, whatever, 2024, 2025, I'm feeling more and more like, it's just one of my therapists, a couples therapist we had, said, all therapy is trying to get your emotions into words. A lot of times you get angry, but you're not actually angry. You're feeling, I'm insecure about this thing, and then you said that thing and it hurt my feelings, and it's coming out as anger. But if I could just say, hey, you know what, I'm insecure about this thing, and you said that and it kind of hurt my feelings, it's a whole different fight. And that's what so much of what we're trying to work on. And my girl still pops off. For me, it's trying to stay patient through that and hearing her, and then getting, because again, she grew up not feeling like anybody's looking out for her. She's not feeling protected. So she has to fight for herself. So it's my job to try to listen to that, take that in. And then I also said to her, I got a real thing with scorekeeping. I've always felt like I get taken advantage of because I try to be nice, blah, blah, blah. And that was my big fear. So I finally let go of that. It helped a lot. I said to her, look, I'm going to do all these things. I'm going to do the therapy. I'm going to do whatever. She wasn't in therapy at that point. I said, before I would have made her, I'd have been like, I'm doing this and you're not. So I finally said, you know what? I'm just going to try to lead by example. And hopefully, if I grow enough, you will see the example, and then you will also join me on this path. And that she heard way better than, I'm doing this and you're not. And then she did. She's in therapy now, like more so than me, even more intensely than I am. And like, it's been really helpful.
Are you a people's pleaser?
Yeah.
Right? That's when you keep scores.
And she likes being pleased, like openly. My wife is the most self-aware. It's like amazing. She laughs at herself. She's incredibly self-aware. She's like, yeah, I'm high maintenance. It is what it is. Like, I know what you want me to, I'm not going to apologize. But yeah, that's where the scorekeeping comes in.
Because you feel like I'm doing this.
But I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it so you tell me I'm good enough. You know what I mean? That's a very different thing.
Right.
It's not a true good deed. So it's fine. That's okay. We all have that, whatever. My wife likes being pleased because it makes her feel validated. But don't pretend the score is so uneven that I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for me. And you're not making me feel validated even though I'm doing this.
Yeah.
It's not you don't do shit. I just need the validation.
Right. You know what? I don't know if people will believe this, but I have a strong people pleaser instinct.
Yeah.
And I
definitely see that.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, you flew down here so I could do that. You didn't ask me to fly to New Delhi. You just came to Mumbai.
But that's because I'm very hustly about work. Like, whatever. I'm going to make this happen regardless of whatever. I'll take the pain. But I have a people pleaser thing in that when I'm talking to you also, I want you to be fine, comfortable, happy, laughing, all those things. And I've been trying to actively exercise my asshole muscle. Like, I'll try and say something that's completely berserk and almost like out of domination, and I'll do it in like a random business meeting, right? Just to get that muscle going, because it's so anti-intuitive to me to do that. I'm going to try and please you when I have no reason to, that kind of stuff.
Right, yeah.
Because you know that book by Robert Greene, it's called 48 Laws of Power. It became very famous. I read the first time and I was like, this makes no sense. Why would you have to do that? Just be honest, transparent, good, nice, happy in this. But it feels like when you get into the business side of things where people are all sharks, you got to learn how to hold power. Yeah, that's where being nice is not the best strategy at all.
I'm not around the sharks like that. I think I had a little business call today while I was having diarrhea and running late to meet you. But I didn't love, he offered something. I didn't love it. And then I just said, instead of like trying to negotiate and navigate, I said, look, man, this is not a deal that I'm okay with on this sense. I'd be okay with it for just this part of my whatever product I'm putting out. And normally I would try to navigate and be like, oh, this is disrespectful, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, let me just say what I actually feel. And I think that's the most powerful thing. If you can be honest and be vulnerable and just say what you're feeling. And even if it's conflict, I'm not good at conflict I'm good at it with an audience member. I'm good at it with a fucking cashier that I'm never going to see again. But my wife, my very close friends, my people I'm in business with making money, I'm not great at it. But if you're just honest, be like, hey man, I don't love this part. That I think is just as, you don't gotta be so transactional and like, not fraudulent, but that Robert Greene shit to me is a little bit like.
It's a little try hard.
It's not you. You're not being authentic.
Right.
And I'm not the most authentic person, but I'm trying to year over year get more and more authentic in who I am.
I actually enjoy conflict. That's the weird part about my people pleaser thing is that I like putting words to thoughts, especially when it's high pressure. And so I relish a moment where I can be in conflict, where the stakes are not like fighting with my wife is not that. But I'm staying at an Airbnb and that boy has a problem with the way we stayed there and let's do email exchanges and I'll show you, I'll put you down properly in English, right? And that part somehow I can spend hours writing an email where I'm responding to conflict. Somehow I just love that bit. That's a very strange personal quirk.
My wife is like that.
Yeah?
She's nice with that shit. Yo,
She knows her words,
if she
dude.
needs to return something, good luck, dog. That's a Patrice joke. I don't want to steal that. But it's real. When my wife has a customer service disagreement, she's nasty, dude. She wins. She applied to journalism school, and that was what her essay was about. Like, I'm really good at conflict in that way. But she was like, there's a higher way to use this. But
damn, yeah. In a marriage that has a lot of conflict, what does love look like? Because I feel like the antithesis to love is very often, we fight a lot, therefore we are not together. That's what divorce is sort of. How do you see love personally?
Work. And I will say this, whenever I talk to people, I was thinking about this, that when they ask, what do you look for in a partner or whatever, I would say probably the most important thing is make sure you laugh with them. My wife is genuinely funny. We laugh all the fucking time. We laugh at each other. We laugh at ourselves. We tease each other. It's so much love. The fights are explosive, but we're learning how to diffuse that, and that's work. And the idea that love, I remember somebody asked me, my wife was filming some TikTok, and I was talking about how, she was with me when I went broke in 2018, and then now I like buying her things because I remember she was with me when I couldn't. She wasn't pleasant about it, but like she was there. She didn't make my life good, but she was there. She didn't leave.
Right.
And he
Still
said,
net positive.
Yeah. He said, what's your advice for any marriage or any couple, whatever? And I said, life is up and down. Why would marriage be any different? This is a lifelong thing. It's up and down. There's good times, there's bad times. That is life. The issue is finding someone who's not willing to work their way out of it with you. Or if you're with someone who's not willing. If you find someone who's willing to work, I think the only real red flags really outside of abuse, which is obvious, any kind of abuse, get out. But it's really just, I'm not willing to do the work with you. My wife and I went to couples therapy twice a week at one point. She's with me. She's doing the work. We're in it. We read the books. We did the thing. She's with me. We're going to grow together. If you're doing the work and she's like, yeah, I'm glad you're doing the work, and then not doing it and not doing anything, and she's like, well, I'm good. The problem is with you. You're fucked. You're not going to, or vice versa. You're fucked. But if they're in the therapy, you're actually trying to listen to each other. You're actually trying to improve. I think you can overcome a lot of things.
Yeah. I'm also not convinced. I've been to therapy quite a bit, and I've enjoyed it. Actually, I've enjoyed it.
Yep.
The first time I went to therapy actually was in New York, and it felt like my mind got like readjusted, almost like Tetris blocks every time I would walk out. And I was like, that's kind of strange. I feel very different every time but it can become this loop that never ends for a lot of people. It becomes almost like going to the temple. It becomes religious. And they feel like they're in a constant process of healing. And I'm also not convinced you need to be aware of all small flaws inside of you. I think it's too much illumination. You can't handle that. This idea of you that you're trying to get at is probably not for you. And a little bit of it is okay. Your injuries are fine. Like that's the other thing I learned recently. Your injuries drive action. They become the source of all the motivation. Leave some injuries in. You don't have to fix everything. There's a lot to be fixed, no doubt. As some stuff you should process, right? Like talk about it. But a lot of it, just let it be.
I think that if somebody listens to the entire thing that you said, that makes sense.
Right.
But a lot of people will take the exit ramp of, you're right, we shouldn't have to fix everything.
I see what you mean.
You know what I mean?
I see what you mean.
I don't. It's funny because I don't go to therapy anymore, really. Like my therapist and I had conversations where I was like, I don't have much to talk about. I don't know if I still need to be here. And then we talked about an exit plan. We talked about and I was like, maybe I come in once every couple of weeks. And then she said, great. And then COVID happened and I needed it again. And then 2022 or something, 2023, I was like, I don't know, I'm exhausted. This is like, I don't feel better walking out of here. And then last year we were like, let's try once a month. We did once a month and I was like, I think I'm good. And she was like, great, I'm still here if you need me.
Cool.
She's like, I'll check in 2 months, see how you're doing. She did, she emailed. I said, I'm doing all right, everything is good. We got some stress, but it seems okay. And she said, great, I'm here if you need me.
Dude, I have to say this, like, you're extremely honest about yourself. Like, you will say things without a filter.
I try to.
Yeah.
Because I used to hide all these things. And the people that I admire so often are just like, comics are so often walking books. Andrew's a walking, like, I see him compartmentalize things and cope, sure. But like, Comics are very open about the dark shit, and I'm not. I grew up in a house where it's like, don't talk about this. But if you can be, the more open you are, the more honest you are, the freer you are. Every single thing you're honest about, you feel a weight lift off.
Yeah. And what's your relationship with God? Do you have one?
Yeah, I talk about this too. I am very proudly Hindu, but I don't know enough. My dad would just like not teach me. I don't know. He had like issues with organized religion, I guess. He knew everything, but he wouldn't really teach me. And my mom was like she would like do puja and this and that, but she didn't really know what any of it meant. And I lived like an hour and a half away from the mandir. So we went like once every year or two. So like I am Hindu and I believe in God strongly, but I'm not like I don't know nearly as much as I would like to. Like I make a joke about how like when we go to the Gurdwara with my wife, she knows everything. And then when I'm like, hey, let's go to the mandir, she's like, okay, what do you do here? And I'm like, so I read the Gita.
Right.
I didn't make it through the Upanishads. It felt like it was too dense for me. I couldn't understand what it was saying.
It probably
I
is.
tried to self-educate. But there's also, I think because this is probably going to be, people are going to get offended by this, but there's a history of Sikhs getting persecuted in India. And similar to Jews throughout the world, when there's a history of persecution, you tend to stick together a little bit more. So my wife went to like Sikh camps growing up. Like that's a thing, and they like it's like a warrior culture. So they like it's like a military installation of what everything means. Why do we celebrate Vaisakhi? Why, like my wife will drill me on it in a way that no Hindu has ever drilled me on anything Hindu.
Right.
So what? Bunch Beata, tell me about it. And I'm like, Jesus, what's going on here?
Right.
But I think that's why they also are a little bit closer to it, because there's the silver lining of being persecuted more is like we are gonna be
Culturally tight.
Yeah.
The Jews say that it's not that just that the Jews have kept the Shabbat, but the Shabbat has kept the Jews. Right? It's very similar like that. I don't know if
saved them.
Yeah.
They're all about saving. You walked
It's all
right
about
into
saving
it.
and getting interest on that saving.
You walked right into it.
Wait, let me check my wallet. I think you can do Jewish jokes in India, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think you get punished for that.
No.
Yeah. But when you fly back, be careful who receives you at JFK, bro. Because I feel like a car's going to come pick you up and going to take you to Kanye straight. And then you're going to answer to him. You're going to have to tell him what happened.
Kanye will love it, dude. Kanye will love it.
Yeah.
This is his favorite part of the pod.
Damn, he's like, bro, I mean, I think he says some very interesting stuff. Not right now. Historically, he said some stuff that's really made me think, but the stuff he says right now is just whack.
I just think he's mentally ill, and I don't think we know how to handle it. And it's like this guy is having a mental breakdown in front of our eyes.
Regardless, is there a question you may have for me?
I felt, honestly, I want to talk to you when you come to America.
Sure.
I want to process. This was awesome. Like, again, I said to you, even over the phone conversation we had, I was like, oh, this guy's really good, linguistically strong. He's good. Even in your second language. So we talked about everything, but I want to take this in, and then whenever you come to America, I want you on my podcast.
Sure, we'll talk then.
But I'm going to process this and this is great, man.
Bro, it's been absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for being a sport, man. And I'll see you in New York. I'll see you in New York,
man.
brother.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.